Hello, everyone. My guest today is Myles Anderson. He's the founder and CEO of a company called BrightLocal. He's worked in the local search industry since 2009 has been a contributor to the local search ranking factors study. He's written a regular column for Search Engine Land and spoken at SEO conferences in both the US and the UK. Myles, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Tell us about BrightLocal. What do you do and how do you make money?
So BrightLocal is a SMB SaaS platform. We help digital marketers and local businesses essentially understand how they're performing online and how they can improve their visibility so they can win customers. The thing that is kind of slightly different is you operate in a niche. You might call it a niche, and that is essentially in the sort of physical sort of space. So we operate a lot in terms of businesses that want to have physical interactions with customers. So people will give them a call, they might walk into the door, or they will have kind of some sort of physical relationship with their sort of customers, as opposed to, let's say, a credit card company like American Express, where their sort of customer relationship is essentially pretty kind of virtual. So typical businesses that our customers would work with are solicitors, plumbers, builders, accountants. And that's not necessarily small businesses, kind of single sort of location, local businesses. It could be large, kind of enterprise scale businesses like Home Depot, for example, that will an enterprise scale business, but with 2,000 local kind of locations where they interact with their kind of customers kind of walking through the door. So our platform is primarily used by marketeers, either working for themselves, working in agencies, or working in-house at multi-location businesses. And we provide them with kind of data analytics and insight so they know how they can essentially drive more physical customer interactions.
And what are these customers paying on average per month for that kind of product set?
We're an SMB platform primarily, although we do scale up to kind of enterprise. So we've kind of got customers that kind of loosely fall into kind of two brackets. We've got customers who can sign up self-serve and use our standard plans. And then we have these kind of enterprise customers who we negotiate particular deals with based on what their particular need is. We've got around 3,500 kind of active kind of subscription-based customers at the moment. Probably the kind of average sort of monthly, kind of RP per customer is around $100.
Okay, $100 per month.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, can I take that times the 3,500? You guys are doing about 350 grand a month right now.
Last month we did 550 grand because we also have a service component to our business as well.
I see. The pure play SaaS business last month though was that about 350?
Yeah, probably about that.
Okay, that's great. Where does the the professional services side come in? Are those like setup fees and things like that?
No, we have, so about 65% of our revenue is SaaS, 35% is sort of service based. We actually have a big operation in the Philippines. You have about 85 people over there, and they do a very kind of specific service to our particular niche, which is basically helping local businesses get more visibility online by managing their presence on sites like Yelp, for example, or on kind of Google My Business. And so we kind of deliver that sort of service. It's kind of productized in a way. We've put a lot of kind of sort of software tools that support the sort of physical solution that our guys over there kind of deliver. But people buy that from us because it's an essential kind of component in your getting good online visibility if you're a kind of local business. It's also quite time consuming and it's quite mundane. So people like to kind of outsource that to us, kind of get it off their plate. And we kind of do that in a very efficient manner for them.
And Myles, give me a sense of growth. So just on the SaaS side of things, so 350 today per month. What were we at a year ago and call it June 2017?
We're probably about 50% up year on year.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. So call it, 275-ish, something like that about a year ago?
Yeah. I mean, we've been in business since 2009. We were kind of bootstrapped. We've never taken outside funding.
You're still bootstrapped?
We're not bootstrapped anymore. I mean, it depends what your kind of definition of sort of bootstrapping is. I mean, we're kind of cost conscious as all kind of good businesses should be. But we have money in the bank. We're able to to kind of make the investments we need to make to kind of grow the platform, kind of grow the team to kind of support it.
Well, so how much have you raised, Myles?
We haven't raised anything.
Okay, wait. So then you're usually it's pretty black and white. Like you're either bootstrapped or you've raised. So you are still bootstrapped.
Well, my definition of bootstrapped is that you're kind of incredibly cost conscious and you can't afford to make significant investments to kind of grow the business.
Well, yeah, but even companies that have raised capital are still going to be cost conscious. They're not just going to go flush it down the toilet. Some do, but not all do, right? So I mean, have you raised traditional capital or have you not raised capital?
We haven't raised capital, so we're self-funded.
Okay, got it. So you guys have put in your own capital. The founders have put in their own capital to grow the thing.
Yeah, but we've been profitable since 2012.
Got it.
We've we've just been reinvesting the profits back in the business instead.
Yeah, that makes great sense. Okay, good. And then give me a sense of what were you doing in 2009? How'd you get the idea?
The kind of story comes from a kind of pain point, actually. I was working for a kind of large another kind of large sort of SaaS product, but sort of more kind of consumer rather than sort of business. And I actually got kind of made redundant. And at the time, I had a couple of kids, and I was thinking, you know what, this is a really painful experience, and not one that I want to go through again. And I kind of looked my kids in the eye and thought, I need to do something that gives me kind of security and control, and also something that they'll be proud of, kind of down the line. And so I set out to sort of start my own business, and I teamed up with my business partner, who's a kind of very long in the tooth sort of web developer, and we started looking around at kind of opportunities. We collaborated together on a local marketing project before. I kind of liked the kind of industry, liked the idea about helping local businesses who are really struggling to understand how to use the internet to acquire new customers. I had lots of friends of mine who were in various sort of businesses, from building to owning pubs and bars and restaurants, for example, and really kind of focusing on offline sort of marketing. Really didn't understand online, kind of struggling to get their heads around it. So there's an opportunity here. But given our kind of background in my partner's background in sort of web development, we decided to pretty kind of quickly into the sort of the sort of agency side of what we were doing. Decided to go and build our own tools. Looked around, there was nothing really in the kind of marketplace. Also spoke to kind of contemporaries of ours who were struggling to kind of get the data they needed to kind of really grow. And so that's when we kind of started off building the kind of the product side of what we do. And then from probably about a year into kind of starting the business, we became kind of 100% focused on the product.
When did you sign your first customer? How long after you quit your job and you started writing code did it take you to sign them?
We started off actually with a free tool. It was designed as a sort of marketing device and a link builder back in the day, sort of thing that actually would be considered kind of unacceptable and spammy these days, but worked back then. So we probably operated like that for about 6 months. And that allowed us to build a very large list of potentially interested sort of customers. I think we got our first revenue in the door probably in kind of mid 2010 from the kind of product side. And we landed our first significant customer, maybe significant, someone who was going to pay us more than $1,000 a month, probably around the start of 2011.
Okay.
So we were very, very kind of bootstrapped. I actually had a day job for the first 2 years of running this. And I used to kind of run BrightLocal in the evenings and on the weekends. And I was working like a crazy kind of 80-hour week doing my day job, putting pretty much all the income I had from my day job into the business to paying it and expanding sort of field of freelancers and sort of freelancer developers to kind of sort of build the product.
And so, Myles, what do the economics look like today? Churn is critical in this kind of space. What's your churn?
Our churn is around 2%.
That's gross logo churn per month?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, good. That's actually fairly low for this kind of space, SMB space. What do you spend to acquire these customers? What's your CAC?
So, I mean, these customers kind of coming up. So, marketing month on month is around 10% of our kind of costs. It's around $27,000 at the moment. Only about 10% of that is spent on paid marketing. The rest is just all salary. So a lot of it is on kind of content marketing. But we probably spend about $150 per acquisition.
Okay.
And our kind of LTV is, it varies on the kind of type of customer and whether they go for the sort of service side of what we do. But it's kind of north of $1,000.
Got it. So if you're spending $150 to acquire a customer and they pay on average $100 per month, your payback's south of 2 months, which is really healthy.
Yeah, pretty much. And obviously, I mean, we have a lot, because we have a service side as well. We have a lot of kind of customers who buy into that. That's
great. You mentioned you have 80 folks in the Philippines. What's your total team size today, and where's everybody based?
So we've got about 120 people. We're headquartered in the UK. There are 16 of us here, and that's essentially an operational and kind of management hub. We all do all our web development out of Kiev in the Ukraine, and that's about 20 people. And then we've got about 85 in the Philippines, and we've got 4 in the US.
Okay, good. So fairly remote team, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's all. None of it is outsourced. It's all offshore.
That's very good. All right, let's wrap up here with the famous 5 Myles. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Probably 2 I enjoyed. I love the book called Influence.
What's it called?
Influence.
Influence.
It's essentially a study of psychology and the impact of that on marketing.
Sorry, did you say Influence by Cialdini?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You know very well. I love that. I found it. I found it kind of interesting, sort of drawing on sort of psychological influences from a whole different sort of set of fields, not just from business. and then how you can apply that to your kind of marketing. We're a very kind of marketing driven business, particularly around the sort of persuasion side of things. And that's really big at the moment called Lost and Founder, which is a guy by a guy called Rand Fishkin, who started a company called Moz. And given that we kind of operate in the sort of same field, it's a very kind of warts and all insight into how he kind of grew Moz, the pitfalls they had. There's an incredible amount of honesty in the book, but it's a very interesting read as well.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying currently?
Not at the moment. To be honest, I just don't have enough time to do that.
Good. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building a business?
And obviously, I enjoy using my tool BrightLocal. The 2 things that have probably really helped me around the sort of finance side. So services like Chart Mogul, which help us get great visibility on our MRR, and you can really kind of sort of visualize that. It's incredibly kind of helpful. And also Xero is a kind of accounting tool. I always used to struggle with kind of old school accounting tools. It never made any kind of sense to me. So having a sort of solution like that provides really intuitive reports, really kind of helps me kind of understand the kind of business's growth.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Okay, that's good. And you mentioned kiddos. So what's your situation? Married, single, and how many kiddos do you have?
Married with 4 kids.
4 kids. Oh my gosh, you're a busy guy. How old are you?
I'm 41.
41. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
If I could go back and tell myself a couple of things, it would be focus on results and not effort. The world rewards results and not effort alone. And have fun now, because by the time you get to 30, it's going to be bloody hard work.
Guys, have fun now. It gets harder as you get older. Coming from Myles, launched the company BrightLocal in 2009. Now 120 people all around the world, again, helping these folks, specifically sales and marketing folks where there's physical locations all around the world. 3,500 customers using the platform. They're bootstrapped. They've used their own money to grow it. June 2017, doing about 275 grand in pure SaaS revenue. They have a service component on top of that, but 275K pure SaaS, about 50% year over year growth. They're now doing about 350 grand a month in SaaS revenue. These customers paying on average $100 per month, 2% gross logo churn per month, which is really impressive considering the ARPU and the SMB space, spending about $150 to acquire these customers for a 2-month payback and a $1,000 lifetime value. Myles, thank you for taking us to the top.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.